Well, good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody that true love begins with you. That's how you take care of yourself with self-care. That's how you navigate life with life skills, and also how you love yourself. So just a reminder, true love begins with you. And I have to admit that I am very nervous about this live, talking about sexiness and talking about sex. Like, I think that, sometimes that's like conversations that are in your head. And sometimes you share those with like really close girlfriends. But for me, this is really kind of a little nerve wracking and really pushing me outside my comfort zone. So, if you're going to be new and improved and, be your own true love, you got to push outside your comfort zone. So thank you for bearing with me if I'm a little nervous, but talking about sexiness and sex with people that I don't know out in the webosphere, out in the stratosphere here is a little daunting, and I'll do my best. So, hey, thanks. So again, I can't remember what your little thing was. Being vulnerable, being naked, I guess, being naked and sexy. Brene Brown talks about being naked and being vulnerable. And that's what we're doing today by talking about sexy and talking about sex. And it might be easier if we all were naked. But anyway, this is a PG version of talking about sexy. So sexy in the dictionary, some words, I went ahead and looked that up, some words about being sexy. The definition of sexy in the dictionary is desirable, alluring, seductive, hot, foxy. I like that one. That's kind of like the 1920s. Spicy, slinky, titillating. And I actually used that word wrongly one time. I thought I was using another word, but titillating is another good word. Sensual, nasty, horny, and steamy are just some of the other definitions that are in the dictionary for sexy. And, every single year there's a list that comes out, with the list of celebrities for the sexiest woman or the sexiest man. And, for last year on the list for women, it was Shakira. She's just got an amazing voice and just a great performer if you've ever seen her in concert. Gal Gadot, who doesn't love a beautiful, sexy superwoman in all of her movies? And she just has a very classic and timeless look. So that's pretty cool. Selena Gomez was on there as well, and Beyonce. And there's a whole list that's out there, and I'll go ahead and post that in the comments so you guys have a look-see of who's the sexiest female celebrities. And, for men, it's kind of a curious listing. And that was Johnny Depp was on there, Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling. He's actually my celebrity crush. So I like that he's on there. And this week I'm going to go see the Barbie movie. So that's going to be kind of fun. And then Tom Cruise is on there. So, again, sexy, when we think about sexy, we think about that, society puts this picture, and media puts this picture of what the sexy look is. And, it's all about looks and attractiveness and that sort of thing. So it's really based on physical appearance, that sexy is. And, some of my favorites, and I'm going to close the window because they're doing their grounds maintenance right now. So let me go do that. All right. Well, my favorites for male actors that a lot of people don't know is Damian Lewis. And he is on Billions. And he also was the main actor in the first year of Homeland. And he really plays an amazing role in those two areas. And he recently lost his wife too. And, there was a lot of tributes to that. So Damian Lewis, go look him up. Steve Carell, I just love him. He's like the funny guy, and just is a regular guy. And there's a lot to like about Steve Carell for me. And then, I like a brooding kind of guy. And if you've ever watched CSI, like William Peterson, he's kind of a brooding, very intellectual guy. And so anyway, he's one of my favorites. And then for ladies, it's a little bit all over the place, like Jennifer Lawrence in Hunger Games, like that. She's just an amazing actress, and her look, like sometimes when you look at Jennifer Lawrence, it's like there's like 10 people, like her look just changes. And if you saw like 10 different pictures, like it's like almost 10 different people. She's just got this really unique look that always is surprising to me when I see her. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Jennifer Lawrence. And I'm thinking it's another person. And Juliette Binoche, I just love her. She was in The English Patient and Chocolate, and just a really great actress. And for me, Maggie Seif, she's in Anarchy, and she also was in Billions, and she plays the amazing role of Wendy Rhodes. And Wendy Rhodes is kind of like my amazing model of a woman, just in what she's portrayed in except for the first episode of the very first series. Like that was a little racy. And but Wendy Rhodes, she plays a therapist who is just very assertive and has boundaries and is very sexy. And anyway, so Maggie Seif, I like her. And, really when we think about like sexy and the world's sexiest people, that's really being shaped by a media, by beauty products, by clothing companies and the runway. And it's really about a look or attractiveness. And, it's kind of something I think that we all can like aspire to be and can be, sexy with all of that. But really, I think sometimes that the media and culture and society really shapes this vision of what sexy is. And it's purely based on body and attractiveness and selling out in the box office. And, all of this really shapes our thoughts on what sexy is. But for us internally, being sexy is shaped by society, but it's also shaped by feedback that we've received in our life from our family, from our ex-spouses, from dating partners, from other people that we've been in relationship with, or even just people that we may have been out grocery shopping and somebody said something and, they don't really know you, but that's the one thing that you remember, in your life. And so, that really can shape, internally how you feel about yourself based on these experiences, and also what we tell ourselves and what we feel in our own bodies about being sexy, and when I think it's pretty typical, if I was to compare myself to like Jennifer Lawrence, just, two pictures, I'd be like, well, I feel like I'm maybe less than. But is that really true? How we really look to what media puts to us, and what do we really know about what sexy is? And sexy to me is really, it does have a little component about outward look, but for me, it's a whole package. It's about having power, having strength, having confidence. And, I'd like to pose, this really interesting idea about the 360 degrees of sexy. That, for me, there's a lot to it. Damian Lewis and Steve Carell and also William Peterson, I'm probably a weirdo, but I actually, go and search about these people and their lives. And I want to know what's going on in their lives. And when I was really shocked to hear about Damian Lewis, his wife passing away, and how the the funeral was held and the memorial was held. It was just beautiful. So I'd like to pose that there's a 360 degrees of sexy. It's not just about the looks, but it's about, your confidence and your power and your strength and your voice and speaking your truth and having confidence and having a positive attitude, the way that you go about life, the optimism that you have about life, and the effort that you put into yourself, like every single day. Are you doing the personal development work? Are you taking care of yourself? Do you have a sense of humor? Having a sense of humor is really important to me. And another element of being 360 degrees of sexy is the ability to let your hair down, to have fun in life. And, another one that's big is a lack of filters on pictures and Facebook, social media, and when you go live. And I would just want to say, I don't ever use a filter. This is 100% Denise in all of her photos with all of that. The only thing that I might do is have a different warmth to it depending on the light that's being filtered in on that particular day, but a lack of filters and comfortable with your own quirks, embracing all that you are and being spontaneous, being able to go have fun or go do something in the very moment. And, how you think, and how you have self-talk about yourself and how you think about others and what's your stress level and how anxious are you. And again, another one is how you feel in your body. So all those things, for me, it's not just about attractiveness and the outward appearance and the makeup and the costuming and the pictures and the posing and all of that. 360 degrees of sexy is all these other things: voice, confidence, optimism, sense of humor, having, being able to let your hair down, lack of filters, comfortable with her own quirks, spontaneity, all of that stuff. So how do you, with having 360 degrees of sexy, when we have that vision of what 360 degrees of sexy means for us, that really means that no two people have the same definition of sexy, which I think is like sexy in itself. And, that was true in the group. There were very different photos that were shared about what sexy is to you. For me, dressing up in a business suit or a dress to go on an interview, like that to me was being sexy. And another woman, it's about being in a very comfortable t-shirt and a pair of jeans and looking beautiful. And another woman, it's a pose in a doorway in a beautiful, sexy black dress, the little black dress. And, in all of that, there were 3 different versions of sexy. And I think that's beautiful that we all can have different definitions of sexy. And the one thing is that anyone who has 360 degrees of sexy, if they're just exuding that confidence and the power and that strength, they really have the ability to arouse desire in another and attract a partner and to attract an inner circle and also that connection with self. If you have 360 degrees of sexy, is that connection with self as well. So it's not just all about attracting that amazing partner. It's also about having an inner circle that reflects who you are and who supports you, and also that connection with yourself. So how do we get 360 degrees of sexy? Well, the first thing is we live in alignment with who we are and the best version of who we are and who we want to be. And that comes with being in alignment with, the first thing is being in alignment with our values, being in alignment with our beliefs, being in alignment with our standards for ourselves, and those people that we're in relationship with. So, that first thing is being in alignment with values, beliefs, and standards. The second thing is loving yourself, like having positive self-talk, having a positive attitude in life, picking yourself back up when life isn't going exactly the way that you want it to, or you've had a setback, being able to dust yourself off, put yourself back in the game, and be okay with that. And just having self-compassion for all different facets of yourself. We have a light side, which is the side that we usually display to others, but we also have a shadow side, those things that we don't really share to others, the jealousy or the victim mentality or the self-pity with those type of things. But having self-compassion is seeing all of us and having compassion for all sides of us, both the light and the dark. And another thing is we're being in alignment with ourselves. If we have self-care for our mind, body, spirit, we're taking care of ourselves like every single day, in our body with how to regulate our nervous system. We're taking care of our mind, like how we're thinking. We might meditate or, however we reset during the day. And then we also have a connection with spirit. And for me, self-care, you can never get enough self-care. Self-care is all day, any day, 100% of the day. And if you haven't noticed that on my channel or in my posts, it's all about self-care. That is the ticket to life, is self-care. And the fourth thing is having alignment with your actions, like having assertiveness, being able to be assertive to get your own needs and wants met, setting boundaries with yourself and with others, and also having the ability to communicate effectively with others, especially when we have to set boundaries or when we're in conflict. And, sometimes communication can be the hard thing, to active listen to others and also really assimilate what they're saying and also get our point across to others. And really, when we think about, the alignment in our actions, that really is the practical application of who we are when we're out and about. And, that's doing the self-development work and changing your thoughts, your actions and behaviors, and having that all be aligned with you as a person, and being able to apply all that in life with yourself, with your inner circle, and with others, and with a potential partner. Like, that is complete sexiness right there for me, is all of that. So my question to you today is, how do you define sexy? Drop those in the comments if you have any comments that you'd like to share about that. So how do you define sexy? And the second thing is what celebrities embody sexiness to you? I'd like to see what you ladies, who you think is really sexy. And being your own true love is embodying 360 degrees of sexy. And, I know that in the healing process that some of us may be reclaiming hurts in the area of sexy and things that were said or things that were done with romantic partners. And I think that's time to be able to look under the hood on some of those things and maybe shine a light on those type of things that might be holding us back with our own 360 degrees of sexy. And, I'm going to be really vulnerable here. One of the things in my marriage is that the ex, he really only ever gave me furry pajamas. So they were always about comfort. And, I always wanted to get, some other qualities that make sexy is, that makes, take your breath away, is heartbeat and admire in another person. That's great. But one of the things, that the ex, he just always gave me furries, like furry pajamas and comfortable pajamas. And one time I asked him, I said, well, is that something that you would consider buying some lingerie for me? A bra and panty set, like that would just really be very connecting with me. And it became an ordeal with all of that. Like, it just became an ordeal that he didn't want to do it. He didn't see value in it. And it was just a big fight. And he did end up buying a bra and panty set for me. And it just never really, I never wore it because it just had such negative connotations with it, and I threw it out. and so, I've always wanted to order from this beautiful lingerie company, and it's called Thistle Inspire. And I've been looking at bra and panty sets for a really long time. And I happened to see it in my feed a couple weeks ago, and I figured I'd do an unboxing. I ordered, and I think this is Be Your Own True Love, is order your own bra and panty set or bra or whatever your thing is about being sexy. Like, do it for yourself. It doesn't have to be from another. It's nice if it is from another. And how wonderful is that for a man who does buy lingerie for his intimate partner? I think that is incredibly sexy. And anyway, but in true form, being my own true love, I went ahead and bought myself a nice bra and panty set, and I'm just gonna open it here in front of everybody. I've been waiting. It came like the other day. I was waiting for this live. So I've never done an unboxing before, especially with intimate bra and panty set. But anyway, so it comes in a really nice washer bag. So again, this is Thistle Inspire. They have beautiful bra and panties and also bodysuits that have embroidery on them. And I think they're just so incredibly beautiful. So, yep. So I actually got, I forgot, I actually got two sets. So the first one is a beautiful burgundy set here with a beautiful embroidery of flowers, and just has a really nice lines on the back with some straps. So that's a beautiful thing. And then we have the matching panties here. So that's the more of the design. And the second set that I had has a different pattern. And lingerie, just for me, when you're wearing something, it's personal and it's for you, and it just makes me feel so beautiful. And reclaiming those experiences. And this one you probably can't see all that much, but has, again, beautiful embroidery and a nice like cross pattern in the back. And again, there's a matching pair of panties as well. So again, drop those things in the comments. What apparel items help you feel sexy, that you actually purchase for yourself, or maybe thinking about purchasing for yourself. So again, these is the pair of panties that we've got going on here. Yep. So anyway, this is me being completely vulnerable. Thank you. Yes, lovely to share. But what are the things, Be Your Own True Love is about taking care of yourself and really getting those things that make you feel sexy. And so maybe for some of you, it might be a new bra and panty set, or maybe it's eyelashes, or you're welcome. I'm glad to share and be naked and be vulnerable out here. That's what life's all about, and being your own true love. So drop in the comments, what are some things? Oh, you like to buy jewelry. That's beautiful. Yeah. So, drop those in the comments too, of those things that you like to wear that give you that extra edge of 360 degrees of sexy. So again, drop in the comments, your favorite celebrities, any characteristics that you find sexy, and any apparel items that you like to wear that help you to feel sexy. So anyway, thank you for watching, and go ahead and subscribe if you like the content and want to continue to go down the path of being your own true love. And I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.